Right, Velaina. Namaste, everyone. Welcome to Hindi University. Wish you all a very happy new year. As you all know, my name is Ashutosh, and we meet every Sunday, 8 a.m. US Pacific time, which is time on the west coast of the US to learn about the Hindi language. And this is sort of our onboarding session for 2026. And I'm really excited to welcome all of you, the existing Hindi University, the community, as well as the new folks who are joining for the very first time. On behalf of Hindi University, a very warm, a very happy new year and welcome to HU. Um, and this is sort of our onboarding call. So the goal for this class is really bring you up to speed about what HU ecosystem is, what Hindi University community is, and so that way you can become part of it throughout the year and years after, and then continue to learn not just through the Sunday classes, but all the resources and the practice sessions that we have for everyone's disposal, right? So my goal for from now until the like 1 more hour is basically to bring you up to speed. And there's so much information, but I'll try to be as crisp as possible. Some we will cover in today's class, some we will cover in the subsequent session. But hopefully, you'll be able to at least get a glimpse of the Hindi University ecosystem. So if you're new to HU, you can visit hindiuniversity.org, and we'll be giving you overview of that as well during the session. But in a very brief, manner, we've been doing the Hindi classes for the last 18 years, and we're meeting every Sunday to go over the Hindi learning concept. We've gone over a lot of academic books, a lot of practice sessions have been conducted. The community is, spread out in many countries. Some are actively involved, joining the classes as well as the practice sessions. Some are just, watching the videos and sharing their comments and, all the questions that they have. Okay. The community is open source by design because the learning should be accessible for everyone, and the idea is to kind of make the the language learning pattern so easy so that regardless of your native language is English or any other language, you should be able to catch up on that. The classes are absolutely free. The practice sessions are also free. All we need is your sort of commitment that you are sincere about it and continue to work on the exercises as well as the any of the homework that you will be getting. Yeah. So that's a little bit about HU. Um, Digging deeper into it, HU has been visited by a lot of uh, amazing Hindi scholars. Some of you may already know the name of it, like professors like Professor Tomio Mizokami from Japan, Professor Rupert Snell, who has written Teach Yourself Hindi, which is a very popular Hindi book. He's taught in many universities in UK and as well as in the US. Professor Richard Delancey, who has also written a book, he's also an active teacher at the Harvard University. Similarly, Professor Sunil Bhatt, in Canada, Naresh Sharma, and Professor Rajiv Ranjan, and Professor Harish Naval. So they've all given their guidance and mentorship during their session about how each of you can make sort of the Hindi learning easier for yourself, right? And then feel comfortable. If plan A doesn't work, you can always kind of sort of rely on the plan B, right? I mean, and again, the goal is to have all of these interactive sessions and expert scholars come visit Hindi University in 2026 as well and give their guidance to everyone. The community aspect is very important. I travel generally. I like traveling like most of you, and I share a glimpse of all the community Hindi University community members I met during the travel. So some pictures of them throughout the areas I visited. Some pictures are my own. Some are shared by the Hindi University, the community, and they interacted with all the other learners as well, right? So that's like one of the key element. Like as you get to know people as you converse in Hindi, you can build like long-term sort of like this friendship with the community as well. Right? Now, the next thing is you would be asking, like, what do I need? Like, I'm starting from scratch. I don't know Devanagari script. how do I get started about it, right? I mean, and what will be covered in the Sunday sessions, what will be covered in the practice sessions. One of the learning for us also that while we have a lot of practice sessions, some folks still do not know about how they can join the practice sessions. So we will try to highlight that information in a more crystallized manner so you are familiar with that. If the Sunday classes and the time it does not work for you, that's totally okay. There are so many practice sessions that you have, and then there are all different levels. So the idea is to kind of give you, that information and connect you with the right practice group, right? So whether you can join the Sunday class or not, or whether you want to supplement the Sunday class along with the practice sessions, you have that information. Yeah. So no prior knowledge of Devanagari is needed. Even if you do not know the Devanagari script, you are welcome to join the classes. Okay. Some practice sessions has a requirement of Devanagari script, but they will guide you to how do you kind of like attend some of the sessions or the recording from before and come up to speed on the Devanagari script as well. One requirement, or at least, is that as you join the practice sessions, Sunday classes, I'm a little bit flexible. Even if you are busy or if the camera is turned off, that's totally normal and it's okay. But as you join the practice session for the very first time, if you can keep the camera on, the other learners will know about you. They'll know that you're a legitimate learner. It makes them kind of comfortable, right? So that's like a sort of a thing that if you can do it, that's sort of an advisable thing. Um, the next thing is most of you joined through either WhatsApp or saw the Zoom link on YouTube, and that's how you sort of learned about it. But what about the internal community? We use WhatsApp, which is the private sort of the discussion that happens there, as well as the Discord link, right? So you can scan this. The code that you see on the right hand side, or you can use this link, to join the Discord Hindi University community. Peter G will be giving a small demo about how you can, get access to Discord as well, and it's sort of a more for the Gen Z, but we are using it to make sure that we have different practice session organized there, and all the Hindi learning materials kind of posted there. So you will get to know about the schedule of the day, when what is happening, right? So we'll be sharing a little bit more information on that. And Discord is tricky, so we'll make sure that over the course of next 2-3 sessions, all of you are gradually coming up to speed on Discord. Okay, I'm going to take a quick pause. I know I'm kind of sharing a lot of information, so any immediate questions by anyone, feel free to unmute yourself. Okay, you can unmute yourself, ask questions so far, or anything that you're looking forward in the next 45 minutes. I'll be happy to take questions right now or later on as well.
Are you able to give me an invite to your WhatsApp community? Because I couldn't find it.
Yes, awesome question. And if you look at the Zoom chat, if you look at the Zoom chat, Marwa ji and Sheila ji will be posting the link that we have for WhatsApp private community, and you can click on it and you will be within that. We don't share it publicly because this is sort of only for the genuine learners who have at least attended the Sunday class or the practice session. So if you just monitor the chat, you will see the link of the WhatsApp group.
Thank you.
Good question. Anyone else? Any other question?
This is Ram. I'm new. I just want to find out I believe you follow some books, right? So what is the book that I'm joined freshly this year? So what is it that you will be following so that we can buy the book or whatever?
Yes, I'll be covering that shortly. So yeah, I'll be covering a section about books as well. Yeah. Wonderful. Any other immediate question that comes to anyone's mind? Any of the hosts would like to chime in to share any more before we proceed further?
I have one more question.
Uh-huh.
It's just about buying your book online. I don't want to buy the printed because of my eyes, but I wanted to buy the ebook, but it can only be done with Kindle, but I don't have Kindle. So how can I buy the ebook without
I
Kindle?
think, yeah, you can, if you go to books.amazon.com, even if you don't have Kindle, once you buy it, you can use the browser as well to read the book. So you don't necessarily need the Kindle to read the book.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Artuji, can I answer that question also?
Yeah.
There are Kindle applications on iPhones, iPads, so you can download the Kindle app.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to
That's
do
also.
that. Yeah.
So
Thanks.
browser or
Yeah.
application, either will work. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Wonderful. Awesome. So let's get going. The next thing I want to talk about is the amazing host, right? So when we started the Hindi University, it was primarily about the Sunday classes or the recordings. Over the course of year, we have amazing, host, and these guys are like dedicated, folks who are, they may not be sort of like, the teacher by profession per se, but they are amazing and, selflessly dedicating some of their own time to make it accessible, the sessions for all of you. Okay. And the categorization of this is a little bit broad, but the goal is that we will map it to the official sort of category in due course of time. And that way you will know the beginners is sort of like the beginner, intermediate, and high. Similarly, the intermediate session also divided into three subcategories, and similarly the advanced are also divided into three subcategories. So it is sort of mapping with the official standard. It's not there yet, but the broad category is listed for you. So Peter G is kind of right now conducting the beginner sessions, practice sessions, right? So regardless of what I cover on Sunday, you can join any of these several practice sessions that we have based on your availability, right? Um, and we'll give you a glimpse of what is covered in today's class about what is covered in the beginners practice sessions. And in the subsequent session, we'll have each host sort of come and talk about what's covered in their practice session. So you gradually learn about each of the practice sessions. In the past, in the very first call, we tried to cover everything and it was too much of information. So we are taking a sort of slightly different approach and we'll give you information gradually. So you will learn slowly about what's covered in the beginners practice sessions, what's covered in the intermediate practice session, what is the prerequisite of those. And then we have advanced practice sessions as well, like with Professor Anita ji and Maggie ji, and they cover stuff, in a pretty intense manner. So they will also cover about, whether it is the right session for you or not. We have some super chill session as well, like Story Weaver and JDG, will talk about the Ashuji's watch party as well. So there are some chill session as well, like if you want to just get together and just watch some of the prior videos and learn together, right? So we'll make it, all of this information gradually accessible for you, right? Um, I'll take a pause here and I'll take any immediate questions you may have about the practice sessions so far.
Yes, where do we find the time schedule for the different practice sessions?
Yes, so amazing question. What we'll do is we will right after, like, we have a section where we'll give you the overview of Hindi University website, which is hindiuniversity.org. And within that, you will see schedule of all the practice sessions, right? So you can find the schedule there. Once you are part of the Discord as well, you will see schedule of the day. And there also the bot will immediately, like every day it is posting about what's covered today, right? So there are multiple ways you can find out information about which practice session is conducted when, right? And in addition to that, in WhatsApp group also, the hosts are generally posting about when their practice session is and the link to join it. On the website, we don't post the link, any of the Zoom link, because just to make sure that there is sort of no unknown person joining, right? So just for authentication purposes, we don't make all the links available to to the public. But you will find information there. And as soon as I'm done with some of the stuff that I need to cover, Peter G will give the walkthrough of the Discord as well, so that there we will show you about where the schedule is being posted. Yeah. Let's get going further. Right now, one of the questions that was asked was about the book. Right, which book should I be buying? There's no requirement that you must buy the book, but so far, Hindi University, we have covered the books that you're seeing right now. And in the practice session, there are a lot of supplementary material is being covered. So the host will be providing some of the information, but we've covered Pingu Learns Hindi, which is the book by Hindi University. Last year, we covered the Primer of Modern Standard Hindi by Professor Michael Shapiro. We've not finished the book yet, so we have a lot of content to still cover there. We've covered Elementary Hindi by Professor Richard DeLacy, who I kind of showed you the picture of, who's a professor at Harvard University. You can find, if you are interested, you can find all the recording of this also on the Hindi University YouTube channel. We've covered Teach Yourself Hindi by Professor Rupert Snell. That also, all the materials are available. I didn't add Usha Jain's book, but we've covered Professor Usha Jain's book as well. Amazing teacher and professor. A lot of contributions she's made. She used to be a professor at Berkeley. And then Living Language is basically another book that you will find very useful. And then Hindi Reader, by Tej Bhatia and Professor Naresh Sharma, right? So you can use any of the book. In addition to that, we'll be providing you the material through the class as well, right? So feel free to get any of these books, or you can also discuss with during the Sunday class or in the practice sessions about the content, right? Any more questions on the book? Anyone, any host would like to add about the material, information about the material?
I would just like to say that most of the authors of these books have been guest speakers at Hindi University.
Yeah, amazing. And it's amazing to hear from them about about their experience teaching Hindi. Right. So you can use the books along with the video as well to make your sort of concepts easier to learn. Wonderful. Right. So now I often talk about, especially the first class, what are the requirements or the core 3 pillars of success when it comes to learning Hindi. So while you have sort of the Sunday classes as well as the practice sessions at your disposal, consistency will only come from your own effort. Just like, how each of you are dedicated to your own academics or professional work, or personal life also, the different projects or engagements you're involved in, you are committed to it, right? I mean, you are doing it on a daily basis, right? And then over time, the compounding effect, works it's through its magic, right? So learning a language is pretty much giving you the same template, right? While you learn the concept, if you practice it daily or a particular frequency, over the period of time, it will give you immense benefits, right? And you have to be comfortable making mistakes. And that's one of the things I will be focusing a lot. So that fear of making mistake when it comes to learning a foreign language, it's completely gone, right? So each of you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. So even if it means that I show a visual image or a video and ask you to describe it in Hindi, it's totally fine that you're not getting the verb on the spot, or if you're not getting the right vocabulary word, right? And we'll give you a demo of that as well, but the key thing is just feeling okay that whatever I know, I'm going to try it out. Because guess what? The next time you will know about it, right? So this year, my main focus is, while we will be covering the grammatical concepts, a lot of effort will be put in on applying the concepts in real time. Because even, folks I've seen, like, and this is another feedback I received, that we've learned a lot of grammatical concept and we feel pretty good about it. But the common thing is when it comes to sort of applying the concept, there is a moment of that, we are freezing, right? So that I'll continue to push on that. And my hope is that even if we conduct, let's say, 45 to 48 sessions this year, by the end of this year, you will have gone through this same sort of exercise so many times that you are automatically developing that comfort zone. So that will be the big difference that you will notice from some of the previous years as well. So consistency is important. Second thing is community. You cannot just have a monologue when it comes to learning the language. You need to practice with someone. So if you already have a peer buddy you can practice with, amazing. If not, you have to find someone in Hindi University or even in your own group who is willing to push you, right, in the right direction. Not necessarily constantly corrects you or telling you that, oh no, that's not how we say it, right? I mean, you want to watch out, folks who are constantly just putting you down. Like you really want someone who's like, pulling you up, right? So that's another thing I want you to focus on, community, right? And the third thing I already kind of mentioned, courage, right? Like, you have to have the courage to just go. There is no downside to it. Nobody's sort of grading you, right? So at least one of the things that I hear from everyone in Hindi University is that there is sort of that safe environment that is being given to everyone, that it's okay to make mistakes. We are not grading you about your sort of fluency in Hindi or how academic the Hindi is. So it's okay even if at the beginning it's a broken Hindi, at least go for it, right? Three things, so consistency, community, and courage, right? And each of you, will be demonstrating it through the year. Right? And this is my personal belief that, if you do it by the end of this year, you will all achieve all of your customized goal that you have for 2026, right? So what is the plan for 2026 that I have? As I mentioned, there will be dynamic applications. We will be covering the grammatical concepts, but in each class, I will give you an image or an exercise, and we will be covering that thing in the next class. And so by the end of today's class, I will show you a small image. You can take a picture of it, or you can go back, watch the recording. Next class, when we meet, all of you, based on your level, if you're a beginner, you will just use basic nouns and pronouns and sort of formulate a sentence for the beginner level. If you're intermediate, you will talk more about sort of different verbs and conjugations around it. If you're advanced, you will come up with relevant scenarios and describe that image. Same image that will be shown to all the students or learners, but you will see different people will come up with different explanation. And that's the key, that you will get to hear how everyone is describing it, right? And then, again, we will have grammar sessions, but along with that, a lot of applications will be there, right? You will be developing a native ear through the long form of authentic dialogue. So I will be covering some of the dialogues as well, where two people are talking. And so expect there will be a lot of sort of, exercises there, right? Yes, and as JDG mentioned, this year also we expect to include a lot of the guest speakers as well. Some of our own sort of hosts as well, like Maggie G conducted the pronunciation sessions in the previous year, so we will continue the pronunciation exercise as well. Similarly, some of the professors who are teaching at the well-recognized global universities, they will be covering and covering some of their material as well, right? So the idea is to give each of you the same experience that you will get when you are enrolling into any of these the major universities and enrolling into their formal language program. Without going through that process, you will get the same experience. Yeah. Any questions so far before we kind of shift the gears and give you a preview of hindiuniversity.org page? Feel free to unmute and ask any questions you may have. All right. Sheilaji, you there?
Ashuji, I'm so sorry, but can I just say hi?
Yes, please. Feel free to ask.
Namaste,
Yeah.
namaste, everyone. I just have to leave, so I'm just going to say hello. I host Story Weaver Level 1, and everyone's welcome to come. It's a beginner's level session. And अरे मेरा नाम वीना है, मैं ट्रिनिडाद से हूँ, लेकिन मैं न्यूयॉर्क में रहती हूँ. Story Weaver, we do every Monday, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So we do stories at, we read them, we listen to them, we kind of take it apart a little bit for the grammar. So I just wanted to say hello and namaste.
Wonderful.
And, hope some people will come join the class.
Wonderful. Awesome.
Thank
So we'll do
you.
that. Yeah. Thank you so much, Veenaji. And we'll have, in the subsequent session also, we'll have Veenaji come back again and talk about in detail about the practice sessions. But I'm going to have, Sheilaji now go over the website and kind of like, yeah. So give me 1 minute. And Sheilaji, you are the co-host. So feel free to, share your screen. Everyone can see it, right? Give a thumbs up if you can see it.
Thank you, Mara.
Yes,
Anji.
awesome. Perfect. Hi,
Okay.
Sheilaji, go for it. Yep.
Lovely. So welcome to Hindu University. I wanted to give you pointers to a few things on the web page that are important when you first join, just to get you orientated, to find your way around, go away and practice the rest of it and investigate it on your own. But the pink bar at the top, let's start at the top. The pink bar at the top is like an announcement banner, tells you something that's going to, a little announcement flying at the back of an airplane in the sky, sort of thing, that sort of thing. This one telling us as a reminder that very fast Usajana advanced session starts on Tuesday the 8th at 8 p.m. And then you have this line here, this next line down, that's effectively the menu bar, yeah? Now, I would always advise you to look at this on the biggest screen you have. You can look at it on a phone. You'll just have to scroll and things will slightly change their layout because they'll come under each other as you scroll through. So this is on a desktop you're looking at the moment. And so on the home page, and this is where you see information about the Sunday classes, about the practice sessions, about resources. And Peter is going to talk to you a little bit about Discord and what have you. But all of these are active links and they take you to these pages up here. So if you click on here, you go to information about the Sunday class. You're on the Sunday class page. This gives you, for example, a link through to YouTube with all of Ashutosh's videos on it. So you can go and look at all the previous videos that Ashutosh has done. They're listed as playlists. You can look back at the ones that were done in 2025, and we won't listen to one. I'll go back to the website. You can go to the practice sessions here or here. And this is where you'll see the list of practice sessions that are available. And they're all sort of laid out. We had Veena talking about Story Weaver 1, and we have Peter who does Pingu Lens Hindi. So he's going to be talking to you later about Pingu Lens Hindi. He'll tell you more about that one. So these are little pop-down icons that you can enlarge. If you scroll all the way to the bottom of this page, you'll get a schedule for the whole week. So you'll see the range of topics that are covered, sessions that are covered on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Yeah. So these are all UTC time. Working globally means that we straddle days with time for any session, for some sessions. So be aware of that. If you're in the Philippines and that, you may be on a different day than if you're on the west coast of the States. If you're unfamiliar with time zones, I would suggest that you bookmark something called World Time Buddy, which you can set up to show you all the different time zones that you're interested in. And also in the practice sessions, we have a calendar, which also shows you when the practice sessions are on. So there's a number of ways to get the information. If you use Google Calendar, you can actually add this calendar into your own Google Calendar. Now, the times that you see here are my time zone, not yours. When you look at this, you will see your time zone, assuming that your device is set up correctly for your time. So for example, I'm in the UK, and where the red line is here, we're partway through Ashutosh's Sunday session, which started in the UK at 4 p.m. Yeah, so you can choose which way to look at all these things. And then the final page here is resources. There's a lot of information here as you get into more beginners plus, intermediate level courses, you'll start using this. But there's some hints on how to type the Devanagari, hints on some dictionaries. A really great one here for shorts. So Ashutosh's videos have been shortened into bite-sized chunks by Marwaji, and this will take you through to those on YouTube as well. It's a great way to catch up with things that have happened in the past, or if you've missed a session on Sunday, this is a good way to get to that. So that was all I was going to cover today. Any questions, come back and ask. Have a play around, have a look around, see what's there, and come back and ask any questions.
Wonderful.
Back to you.
Thank you so much. That was amazing, Sheila ji. Any questions, anyone, before we jump into the next segment of the class? Any questions about the website or any information that you may have right away? Okay, what we'll do now is we'll give you a glimpse of what a practice session is, right? And I have Peter G. He's also conducting the Pingu Learns Hindi, practice session. So he will give you a glimpse of what a practice session entails and what is the expectation there. And again, there are over 10 practice sessions, so we'll not overwhelm everyone, but we'll just give you one by one bite-sized information about it. So let me find you, Peter G, and let me add you there. Right, all yours, Peter G.
Mr. G, thank you. Okay, hi everybody. My name is Peter. Hi. I won't do the full introduction, but I'm just here to do a quick demo of how a practice session might look. I'm currently teaching the practice session that happens Tuesdays and Thursdays right now. Pingu Learns Hindi.
Sorry, Peter, your audio is not clear.
I got a bit of an echo, Peter.
Yeah. Audio better?
Come closer to the microphone.
Okay. How's that better?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Much better. Yep.
This is a real life demo. Okay. And of course, the first thing that everyone in my class knows is I have to have my tea ready to go. Sometimes I tell everybody to chat amongst themselves while I'm getting my tea. So anyway, there you go. So we have sessions right now twice a week for Pingu and Cindy. We're about 2/3 of the way from the book. But if you are motivated, then by all means join. Just soak up what you can. I have already committed to doing another Pingu and Cindy from the beginning, starting in mid-February. So we'll finish the one we're doing now, and then we'll start again in mid-February. You're welcome to come now, or you're welcome to join later. In any case, let's just jump right into it. I'm going to go ahead and share the book. So you should be seeing the Pingu and Cindy book right now. And this is typically how we do it. So if you don't have the book, of course, I'm going to be sharing it on Zoom, so you don't technically need it. Certainly doesn't hurt to have it. We as a community tend to recommend Pingu and Cindy as the best starting practice session. Mainly because a lot of the books see will start teaching Devanagari immediately. They'll start teaching you the script right away. You may prefer to just get into it without necessarily worrying about the script right away. So that's where Pingu and Cindy comes in handy. And this book was written by Ashutosh with a lot of help from the community a number of years ago. So a community help book, mostly by Ashutosh, of course. So if we go to I'll just jump right into a random chapter just so you can see. So we're already in chapter 5, just so you can see. So this one is going to talking about your daily routine. And I'm just going to jump forward and note that wherever you see a Hindi word, you're going to see both the Devanagari, for example, this column here, and the what we would refer to as Romanagari, which would be the Romanized version. So you don't really need to know the Devanagari to go through this book, right? As you can see, all of these verbs are being provided. And then when we have conjugations, when we have samples of that, you can see how do you say I walk, may chalta home. If you know the Devanagari, great. If you don't, then the Romanagari is right there. So you don't need to learn Devanagari right away. We will say that really as an optional part of the class, what they usually do, not every instructor, not everyone who teaches the class does it. But what I like to do is towards the 10 minutes at the end of each session, I actually do a Devanagari overview. So like towards the end of the session, I'll say, okay, if you're not interested in Devanagari, I'll see you next time. I stick around and we'll go through Devanagari. So even if you want to learn Devanagari, you can. It's optional and it won't impact your going through the book if you don't. But it is helpful because a lot of the other books that we use tend to assume that you're going to be using Devanagari, and they may not even provide the Romanagari in the text for the most part. So, so you may find it helpful to learn the Devanagari, at least to some extent. And it went pretty well this last time. I would say those who attended the session found that very useful. So here's a quick overview of the book. You can see it just covers all the basics from the very beginning, how to introduce yourself, masculine, feminine, singulars and plurals, pronouns, and then it gets into how to say things using different verb tenses, present tense, past tense, continuous tense, etc. So to actually demo how a session might look, I'm going to pretend that we're up to chapter 5, and we're just going to go through chapter 5. So, hey, we've already learned a lot of basic things. We know how to say pronouns. We know a lot of nouns. We've learned how to say basic sentences. Now we're finally going to see how do we conjugate verbs in a particular tense. And in this case, we're talking about Pingu's daily routine. So what we're going to do is we're going to, in this chapter, talk about how do you use verbs to talk about something that is happening in the present tense. Not happening continuously, like, for example, you might be, we're thinking like, you want to say something like, I walk to the store. Right? You're saying, no, you don't want to say, I am walking to the store, right? So if you think about that in English, I am walking, means you're doing it right now. But I walk to the store, maybe you're saying, I walk to the store every day. Then that's still the present tense, but you're not saying that you're doing it right at this second, right? So in this chapter, we're talking about that second one. We're talking about I walk to the store every day. That's kind of sentence. Later on in a future chapter, we'll talk about how to say I am walking to the store right now, right? That would be a different verb tense. So this one is that second one. I want to walk to the store, that kind of thing. So we would go through all these verbs now, and I probably have different folks in the class read through the verbs. But we got the chance to participate. But for brevity, I'm going to skip over that for now. So we will go through all of these sample verbs. And then we're going to say.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yes.
There's a few in the chat that are saying they're having trouble hearing you.
Okay. Well, I will speak a little louder then. Is that a little bit better?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm a little confused why I'm having this problem. This isn't the same setup that I usually have, but no problem. So I'll speak a little bit louder. So what we're learning here now is present indefinite tense, like I walk, you walk, etc. And after I would have gone through this section, what I might do is I might call on individuals, and I don't know. I think I volunteered Sharon. Sharon, are you able to unmute yourself? Ashutosh, will she be able to speak?
Oh, Peter, I'm also having trouble understanding you. It's not volume. It's kind of a garbled speech. I think you called on me, and if you did, here I am.
Okay, yeah, Sharon, I was going to say, if you were a student in class, I might ask you to go through the first two pronouns, me, which is I, and tum, which is one of the forms of you, and tell us how we would conjugate that in the present indefinite tense.
Right, and I would answer by reading what's on the screen. Main chalta hoon for the masculine, and main chalti hoon for the feminine, and tum chalte ho, tum chalti ho. And the rules explained that you drop the na and add your ta, te, or ti.
Exactly, and I would have already spoken. So
Wonderful.
that's it. I'm going to stop there. But this is what a practice session would be like. We would just essentially be reading the book together, practicing the book together. There are practice exercises later on that we would go through together. And everyone would get a chance to participate. So I'm going to stop now, turn it back over to Ashutosh. But that's what practice sessions are like. They're peer-to-peer. The presenter, the facilitator may or may not know more than you. There may be people in the class who know more than the facilitator. It doesn't really matter. We're all just going through the book together and doing the best we can to learn as we go along. Okay, thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Peter G, for covering giving a glimpse of the practice session. So as Peter G mentioned, this was just like the beginner's practice session where you will get into you'll get an immersive experience of Pingu Learns Hindi, where you will go chapter by chapter, and each attendee will be encouraged to participate, right? Because the book is written in a pretty like sort of a structured manner, and there's no prerequisite for Devanagari, you should be able to, most of you will be able to catch up and use the verb and conjugate it properly, okay? Now, a lot of the beginner's book that you will see, of course, it covers a lot of material. This book deliberately is written in such a way that at least you have all the basic concepts ready, right? I mean, so again, beginner session sort of, it's a little bit of a sort of a broad category, right? But in my experience and covering it is like it covers the most fundamental concept you should know in the beginning, right? And it sort of puts you at a level where you feel comfortable making the mistakes, right, without overwhelming you with a lot of grammatical concepts. So I think I would highly encourage you to at least go through Pingu Learns Hindi, because that will at least set you up for success for the subsequent books that we will be covering. Okay. You cannot download the book, right? But there will be, if you join the practice sessions, there will be screen share, right? So the host will be sharing their screen, and you don't have to buy it, right? There's no sort of a promotion that you must buy. There's nothing like that. Like, the idea is to make it easier. So but for some reason, you don't have access to Amazon, or you cannot get it, that's totally fine. The host will provide you the material during the class as well. Yeah. Any questions before we, before we jump to the next section? I do want to share Marwaji, if you can, or Shiraji, if you can share the link for the WhatsApp group, because we still have all the new folks who are joined today. So if you look at um, the Zoom chat, Shiraji will just posted the link to the website, and next link is what the WhatsApp private community is. So one of the takeaway for this class is all of you, especially who are new folks, who are not part of the WhatsApp group, you should definitely join this group. Because if you don't remember everything, at least you can ask in this using this group any questions you may have, right? Because sometimes it requires repetition, and we'll cover that information in the WhatsApp group as well. And the third link that you will see is a Discord. If you're not on Discord, Peters, you will gradually cover how do you kind of get on board on Discord. And Discord can be tricky for some people, especially because different people have different setups. Some are using PC, some are using Mac, some are using phone, right? But we'll do one short use case of Discord, and in the subsequent classes, if you have more questions, we can cover that as well. So I definitely want to take a pause to make sure that all of you can give me a thumbs up that you have seen the message posted by Sheila ji on the chat. Give me a quick thumbs up, wonderful. And if anybody has any more questions on that, this is important because if you missed any of the information, you still have these links, so you can kind of like reach out to everyone. Wonderful. Any questions, anyone, before we jump to the next segment? Right. So what are we going to cover for this year, right? As I said, like the roadmap for this year is to basically build a conversational confidence for everyone, okay? There will be active comprehensions, regardless of whichever level you are, you will push yourself to the next level. The idea is like, you will be telling your own story. I will be giving an exercise ahead of time. You will have a decent amount of time, right, to prep if you want to prepare in advance. If not, if you don't have time, that's totally okay. You can still, during the class, see how others are participating and follow along, right? And then, of course, there will be grammatical concepts each class. So we will cover that as well, right? So to give you a glimpse of what you should expect, in the next class, basically in the practice when we go over it. So imagine I show you an image like this, okay? It's a very busy image you will see, okay? Now, different based on your level of Hindi, whether it is beginner, complete beginner, or intermediate or advanced, you can describe it in a different way, okay? A beginner will not use necessarily a lot of verbs, active verbs. They will simply rely on the nouns and the pronouns and the to be form of the verb, right? Intermediate will try to use different verbs and try to describe what is happening in this image. Advanced will try to create a story around it, right? So if I were to kind of give a glimpse, and if you don't mind me putting people on the spot, right? Let's see, Michael G from Pennsylvania. If I were to put you on spot, how would you describe this image in an intermediate Hindi level? You have to unmute yourself, Michael G.
Okay. Vahan bahut log hai. Sabjawali hai. Railgari hai. Vahan railgari hai. Bache bache kal rahe hai.
Beautiful.
Orat Beitkar Kitab par rahi hai.
Beautiful. You see that? This was not shown to anyone. This is like, I just put him on the spot, right? There's definitely like, the thing that, what, I'm on the spot now, I cannot make the mistake, right? That's the immediate thing that comes to everyone's mind. But you saw how Michael G processed it, right? He just didn't worry about, whether it's going to be a mistake or not, right? And, you will all be kind of, if you do it multiple times, you will overcome that fear. Okay. So that is the thing we will be mastering. So we'll go over this image again next week. I was just giving a demo of it, right? So you can take a picture of it regardless of your level. Again, the idea is not, it has to be perfect. The idea is not you will describe a situation like, now let's take a look at how will you will describe the same image at the beginner level, right? So I'm going to ask, let's see who would be, I'm going to ask someone to describe it at a beginner level. So Sheilaji, you want to take, just stay with the beginner level only, this image. Yeah.
Sorry, Ashutosh, I think you've got two Sheilas today.
Yeah, you. Go for it.
Okay, I'll try to beginner level. Bache kelte hai. Ekorat seb garid tete. Ek rail gari hai. Trying not to make big sentences.
Yeah, simple is all. Yeah.
Ek bid hai. Platform mein. I can't think of what else I would be able to say as a beginner.
Perfect. And anybody else want to make a beginner sentence just by looking at the image? Any beginner sentence just by looking at this image? Unmute yourself and you can give a summary of it.
For example, I'm Eva. एक और रात किताब पढ़ती है.
Beautiful. Anyone else?
पेड़ बहुत सुंदर है.
पेड़ बहुत सुंदर है. Beautiful. Josh is like, don't put me on the spot. I didn't sign up for this. Go for it. You can do it, Josh.
Okay.
The grass.
Sabziya Kharida hai?
Kharidti, very good.
Kharidti hai?
Beautiful. Where sabji kharidti hai. Beautiful, right? So wonderful, right? Anyone else? Very good.
Can I try?
Please.
एक आदमी कुर्सी या बेंच बैठा है.
Beautiful. Beautiful. That's great. एक आदमी
That's the
कुर्सी
first
और
time
बेंच.
I've ever spoken.
There you go. See? So one of many times, right? So congratulations on that, right? It's always exciting to kind of like, when. All right. Now let's see how you will describe the same image in an advanced level, right? Christine ji, I'm gonna nominate you for that. So if you can unmute yourself.
She said she only listening.
Oh, she only listening? Okay, wonderful. Marwa ji, you want to go and describe it?
Okay, मुझे पता नहीं ये एडवांस लेवल कैसा है, लेकिन आई विल से दो प्यार करने वाले यहाँ बैठ रही है. एक बूढ़ा आदमी वहाँ बैठ रहा है. बच्चा गोल से खेल रहा है. ट्रेन स्टेशन पर है. और एक माँ और उसकी बेटी दोनों चलती रही है.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Anyone else would like to try? I mean, again, you will see next class, because now I am showing you, you can really create a story around it, right? And again, it should be your story. It should not be somebody else's story. And that is the beauty of it, right? You decide your current level and you will be pushed to just where you are. How do you push yourself to the next one? So I'll just take one more example, and then Sharanji, you want to give it a try? A few sentences?
Honestly, I thought we covered it, but okay, here. ट्रेन आ गई थी
Uh-huh.
और बहुत लोग मिलते हैं।
Uh-huh.
एक बहुत सुंदर दिन है।
Mhm.
बहुत धूप। like I said, पेड़ हरी और बहुत सुंदर। लोग आज छुट्टी है
Mhm.
और बहुत लोग activities, enjoying
Correct.
activities है।
Beautiful, wonderful, right? Awesome, right? So this is the thing for next week. Next week we'll start our first formal grammar class, and following that, there will be application. What is the application? This will be the application. You will look at this image again. Those of you who didn't get a chance today, this is just a demo. So next class, all of you will get a chance to describe it. Okay. It doesn't matter how many sentences you make. You decide it. Even if it is one sentence, I'll take it. Okay, but at least it has to be one sentence, right? So that way next week I can ask you to push yourself further and make 2 sentences, right? And then if you don't know how to make even one sentence, it's okay to just watch how other people are making it, right? And that will be your language immersion experience. Just by watching other people, if a person is saying यह लड़की है, यह लड़का है, यह बच्चा है, I would expect you to say यह फुटबॉल है, ओके, और यह किताब है, और यह टमेटो है, यह लैंप है, और यह ट्रेन है, ओके, और यह ट्री है, और bushes है. I'm totally okay with that, and that's how you will build the applying this. You know the yeh me by now. You should know that yeh is this, and hai is your sort of to be form of the verb is. So this is boy, this is girl, this is a bench, this is a train, or this is a lamp, right? So hopefully and gradually you will sort of build that muscle memory, that how things are being structured and how the same patterns are being applied. Yeah. Any questions? Anyone is feeling overwhelmed so far? Feel free to be honest, and you can sort of unmute yourself and share your questions or anything that is coming to you. Eva ji, feeling okay? No? Feeling okay? Gabriel ji, okay?
Yes, I'm feeling like a little confused because I don't know too much Hindi, so my mind is
Yes.
like, I don't know nothing.
Yeah, it's so you are not, and that's okay to feel that way, right? As I said, if I were to show you, okay, here's what I'm going to give you the demo, and I'm glad you asked me, you mentioned that, and you're being honest. Just follow how I'm saying it. यह फुटबॉल है, यह फुटबॉल है, यह बॉय है, यह बुक है, यह कार्ड है, यह गर्ल है, यह ट्रेन है. Okay, I'm going to ask you now, describe this.
है.
यह लैंप है. Beautiful. Okay, you describe this.
यह pigeon है.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Describe this.
यह बैंक है.
Beautiful. Okay. What else can you describe?
यह यह लड़की how to say
Hey,
नीला
that's it.
no
Okay.
नीला sweet है.
Okay. Okay. So see, that's how it is. Like, we will start. So, and as I said, it's totally normal to freeze when you don't know and when you're feeling I'm stuck. In fact, you will notice that the people who know some level of grammar also, when it comes to really applying the concepts, two different things. You may know a lot of grammar, but when it comes to applying it, you may still have difficulty, right? So in your case, who are completely new, you will learn the concept. We will have the grammatical concepts, and you will apply it at the same time in real time, right? So don't feel that I need to have gone through a lot of grammar concepts before. There's nothing like that. Two different things. Okay. So in your case, don't think that anything that you're catching just by hearing people or listening to people is incorrect. Right. So you will be developing those things in parallel. And along with that, as I said, like, you will be catching up, but don't miss the application part, because this will be important for all levels, right? Just by listening to everyone, you will get a lot of verbs right away. Like, you will listen to all the verbs. You will listen to a lot of vocabulary words. You will listen to how people are observing and breaking things down, right? Most importantly, you'll put yourself into an uncomfortable position. Yeah. Wonderful. Awesome. Any more questions, anyone? I know we wanted to cover Discord, but we are slightly running out of time, and I don't want to keep you long. So what I want to do is, at least, Peterji, maybe we can cover that in the subsequent class, in the next class, but we can share the link again of Discord. And as a homework exercise, if you all can just follow this link of Discord and at least try yourself if you can sign up and join the Hindi University server or not, right? And then we can kind of go over it in the next class and make sure that everyone is comfortable, right? So, and if you go, I'm going to share the Discord link here. If it is okay, so it's already shared. Yeah, so Sheila ji shared the Discord link. So all of you can follow along and do it as a homework exercise. Give it a try. If it doesn't work, we'll come back next class and cover it. Okay. So again, what we'll cover next class, at least as a homework exercise. I want you to look at the image. Okay. Based on your level, even if it means you're a complete beginner who's not learned Hindi before, don't worry. You will be applying, and you'll be surprised how you will be able to formulate sentences, right? What I'll do is, yes, Evaji.
Just for the new ones, I was afraid of this Discord thing, but all of the guys are very helpful, so just feel free to ask.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for sharing that, right? I mean, it can be overwhelming, if you're not, used to, and again, if it doesn't work for you, WhatsApp is good enough. Like, you will be able to get information on WhatsApp as well, right? So, while you will have a lot of information on Discord, don't have this fear of missing out either, right? Any more questions, anyone? I want to take introductions from all the folks quickly. So what I'll do, folks who watched live on Facebook, thank you so much. And again, throughout this month, we will be enrolling new students. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And